Hey guys, this is Alex from Real Time Construction, and today I'm going to be doing some fixing some dips on this patio around here. So there's some small dips around, and I'm going to show you how I do that. The things that you're going to need is 2 screwdrivers, a pickaxe, a mallet, and some HPB. So everything you need is here. This is our first guy, and I'll show you how to do it. So you gotta use both the screwdrivers and try 2 different sides. Just like that. If you got a patio with big pieces, you gotta go with lifting the smaller ones to actually lift up the big ones, because they won't lift the big ones, right? So especially when you have big stones like these ones. So this one's up, a little bit of base where the low spot. And then we're gonna go right back in. Okay. There you go. That's how easy it is. I'd like to show you some more, so let's try that. Here I got one that is high, so we're gonna go the opposite way. We're gonna lift it and then we're actually gonna lower it. You can also try to smack it down. And that will sometimes do it. So you see the difference. It's much lower now. So here we have one that is lower here, and then this guy's higher, so you can see the shadow here. So I'll show you how I fix these guys. I'm gonna use the same tools, but also I'm gonna use the pickaxe, but the only one I can take out is this guy, okay? Because it's much smaller than these two, and then obviously with the screwdriver, there's no way you can pull these guys up. Bring it a little bit closer, and we'll go from here. Sometimes it's harder because the sand is keeping it glued together. So you gotta lift it up with the one screwdriver and then catch it and lift it more with the second. That's my strategy, and it works just fine. If it's something you want to do at your own home. Okay, well, that's it. So now I'm gonna pick this guy up and then drop it a little bit in the front. So the opposite. Let's see how this is done with the pickaxe. It's pretty easy. You just kind of dig through and then you just lift up. Okay, so just like that. And then here, and we've got our bucket to take away the excess. Okay. We want our guy to match this guy, so, and then obviously we don't want to lower the smaller piece. And always remember to, when you put back your larger piece, you don't put the smaller piece first, right? In case you have to pull this guy up again. So just like that. And just like this. A little more. This. That's it. See now how it matches so much better? No lip, no nice smooth transitions. think that's what we want all around this patio. So, and then we match this final guy here, which this one has to be 100% because if it's not 100%, I have to pick it out again, and that's the time consuming part. So sometimes it's easier to have a smaller piece of wood just to match the height, just so you don't miss it. So that's it. Much better, okay? Another situation here. So in this case here, we have this two being higher, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 that are lower. So we want them to match so we don't have a tripping hazard, okay? So same idea, I'm gonna have to pick up this guy and then take out this guy and this guy and this guy and then put them all in backwards, okay? So what I would do is, because this guy is the heaviest and biggest, I would take out this one with my screwdrivers, use the pickaxe for these two, and then obviously the pickaxe for this one because it's easy. And then when I go back, I would put this one first, this one second, so that if it goes in wrong, I can just lift it from this side easier with the pickaxe, because I need to have at least one opening to do my little repair, right? And lift the bricks easier with the pickaxe. So let's try that. Okay. Make sure you have some good view here. So pretty easy and quick. Sometimes if the polymeric sand is too hard, what you gotta do is you gotta slice with the, remember I lifted a bit, and because I wanted to disconnect from this one, I just hammer this one down, just like that. And just keep going up, and we'll let go, and proceed. Now it goes out, yeah? Pretty easy. Okay. So I put it aside. There was nothing really wrong with this one. But also I don't want to forget what the problem was for this guy, right? So I'm gonna fix it up already. So it was low over here. Add a little bit of base. Okay. Alright, and then I use a pickaxe for the rest because they're much bigger. On now because it's a little wet and a little chilly, not really that cold. It's snowing, but it's over 0, which is comfortable temperature if you're well dressed. We really in Canada we do landscaping projects until the ground freezes. If we have landscaping projects when the ground is frozen, we have to cut it. So pretty interesting, but it can still be done. So some guys use heaters to mount this just to get the projects done. And then this guy's pretty heavy, so it's best you give it your most attention and most careful leveling, right? Because you don't want to be lifting it around, especially if you're on your own, you don't have a strong guy around, right? So I'm going to start with the rectangle piece, just right here. So it was low over here, so I just add material on this side. And it was very low, like a 1/4 inch, I believe. I mean, very small drop. So let me give it a little bit of this. And then screws will go back in. So when I use this, when I put in these larger rectangles, I normally set them on here and then I flop them in. And I keep the pressure against here so that, you know, it doesn't drop much further up
That's that. So I see another dip here, which I'm going to fix quickly. So just like that, I can fix this one. Quick. And then I took a little bit from here, so I'm going to add it back in. It's just like that. Very easy stuff for doing it yourself. Fixing small dips and a little bit of shifting. Alright, you see this one here and here? It's perfect now, so
Let's proceed with the square. This square was low over here. Remember, I leave these open, these openings, the small opening down here, you can't see it. So the small opening here, right? And then the one here, in case I have to move back my pieces out, you know? You better kind of eyeball it really well, you know, because you don't want to be lifting it. And as you remember correctly, I added base here already for this one that was dipping. So just like that, pretty easy stuff. Okay, see, if I don't keep the pressure as I'm lowering it, it won't stay. There we go. Couple taps to compress the base. Nice and smooth. All sides are nice and smooth. So finally, we got this guy. That should be quick. Okay. And this guy was low on this side. This over here, so that's where the only spot I'm gonna add some gravel, okay? Like that. And this. We don't want to get stuck on the next one. Just like that. Alright. So carry on. We're running out of light, but let's see if we can get a couple more. There's here, this is the same situation. This is 4 across that are dipping. Alright, so this is my final. I have here about to that. So this is my final, and I have to lift what do I have? This rectangle. So it's dropped almost a 1/4 inch, and then the small one, and then we have this one is a little bit lower than this guy. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, there's a little bit of a dip here, so let's show you how I do it exactly the same way as before. We need a 2 screwdrivers, a little bit of HPB for a few gravel stakes. And we can begin. You want to go with the one that looks like it is the most loose, because if it looks like it's loose, it is most likely a little bit more loose than the other ones. And as soon as you see some movement, make sure you do the 2 screwdrivers. Up and down and in. And down. And if you lose it, you can stuff in between, but that's why I leave them open, because this process is a little bit time consuming. Fix. So a little bit time consuming, but easy to do, right? So
before I lift off. So if you see it's lifting this guy a little bit, so I'm gonna drop that guy down. Just like that. And then lift our guy over here. So okay. Alright, so here's the biggest guy to fix. Everything else looks fine. This square needs just a little bit up, so when they need just a little bit up, I pop them up and I put them in just right away. So show you. Hold the roll, just stick your finger under. And then add a little on the edge, give it a little tap, and it's through. So now easily with my pickaxe, I'm gonna lift 1, 2, and 3 of these guys for the repair that I'm gonna do here. And to remember, this rectangle is low all the way, so I gotta keep in mind because it's gonna be the last one I'm gonna put in. So with the pickaxe, things are much easier to lift. Especially when you get the ones around them loose. So this is going to be the second last. So the soldier course is no different than anything else. It's just the way that the bricks are sitting or are assembled together. So I'm going to show you how I fix this dip right here. Sorry, the dip is right along here, so I'm going to bring them up so that we don't have that tripping hazard. Okay, so if you see here, there's a much smaller piece right here. So that's obviously the easiest one to lift up. So just like that. Easy. Then these guys are pretty easy as well. So that's how you keep your clients happy. If you ask for something and it's to be done, you gotta be there to fix it. So add a little bit to this one and this one around here. On that line. Just put it. I'm gonna show you how I put the gravel in a little better. Okay, so let's see that. Again, so the first guy was dipping along this side, so I only added on this side of the brick. So okay, so we wanted to match these guys here, so let's try that. Okay, a little bit of a lip here. Let's see if we can reduce it, make it disappear. Okay, so now that I'm doing this, I noticed that this guy has a little bit of a drop, so I'm going to pick this guy up from here. It'll be easier with my pickaxe. And then just quickly add some gravel here. So just like that. Not too much. Okay, and then try back in. Just enough to fix that quarter inch. Okay, a little higher. Not much. The sides, and that's a good one. So, and finally these two pieces. This needs to be filled kind of in the middle. And then a little bit of sand that's in there, it's okay for this. So that looks good. A little bit higher maybe. We want them to look rough, but we don't want them to look like they're a tripping hazard, right? Because if they look like they're a tripping hazard, they probably are. Okay. This one was a little bit lower, I believe. A little bit. Again, tilt it in. Try that. So this one went higher than I wanted, so I gotta pull it out. Sometimes you gotta double dry, right? Especially when you do these kind of little repairs. So you could do this at your house or your client's house, anyway. Alright, so take about 3 handfuls. I think it's a little more. Let's try this now. When you're picking up gravel, you make sure you pick it up from all around. Otherwise, it won't go down. Because if it's built up on the edges, and you take it up from the middle, it won't go down, okay? So in this situation, I have this guy that is higher on this side. So what I gotta do is I simply gotta lift this guy out and lower this side so that there's no tripping hazard over here. So it's about a 1/4 inch drop. So I'm gonna start lifting gravel from the middle and down so that if I take some from here, it's just gonna be wobbly. It's not gonna lose its flatness. So it needs to go all the way out here, right? For how we manipulate the base. So in order to get to it, I just lift one of these guys on the edge. So because after I lift this guy, I can hook up my pickaxe underneath and this guy up. So let's try this guy. A little bit. And that's good. And use your pickaxe. So this guy up. The square ones are not that heavy, but pretty hefty. Like an older guy, I would have a hard time. But, you know, for us young guys, it's easier. Okay, so a good amount of removed here because it has to come from throughout. Make sure you get the edges, right? Because the edges alone will keep it up. If it's not the right height. Okay. Load, load, load. Okay. And that's it. Move the tapping. These ones are a little bit higher too, but I just was able to tap them down with the mallet alone. So you put your last piece in, and this little area is done as well. When there's roots coming through or a lot of moisture, a lot of these bricks will move. And the best time fixing is in spring or mid-summer.
Alright guys, so this was little dips and how you want to fix a little bit of movement in your own patio, in your own home. So we use 2 screwdrivers, a mallet, some HBB or pea gravel, and we had this beautiful 1200 square foot patio. There was some Permacon laid down here, Melville 60 of Scandinavian gray with some Monterey on the edges, these pathways, and there's a step over there. I didn't show you the step. So it's a nice step worth seeing, or 2 steps, and those guys are called Valencia. Okay, so solid concrete steps, nice for, you know, a staircase that will stay in place, and they're also very easy to repair. Remind me to show you another video on how to repair these guys, and in the future I'll probably tag it in the description. Okay, thank you so much guys, enjoy your evening, and one more video from Real Time Construction. Please subscribe and ask me any questions if you have. Thanks.